The so-called birthday book, which the Wall Street Journal reports, includes a bawdy letter from President Trump, which he denies. I guess you learned just in the last 24 hours that that book is in the possession of the Epstein estate and therefore exists physically. The Journal suggested it was at least seen by the government. Maybe they made a copy. Why is it important to you to as you said you're going to do, to see if Congress can subpoena that? Why should Congress have that birthday book? What public purpose would that serve?
Well, one, it would give transparency. We should subpoena the full Epstein files. That would be ideal. The DOJ is going to be difficult in complying with that subpoena. It would be the DOJ having to enforce the congressional subpoena. Would the DOJ sue itself or prosecute itself for contempt of Congress? Probably not. Will the Speaker sue the DOJ for contempt of Congress? Probably not. So how can we get the information while we're fighting with the DOJ for transparency? Well, let's get at least this book. That's in the hands of the private lawyers. They do have to comply with congressional subpoenas, and I think it just will be much easier to get some information about who were the people involved in the sex trafficking and money laundering.
Okay, but it doesn't follow necessarily that if you've got a letter in Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book that you were involved in sex trafficking, right?
True, absolutely. But I think the American people are fair. I mean, look, there are a lot of people who were probably mentioned in the files who were innocent. Someone Jeffrey Epstein gave money to in a nonprofit. Some politician who he contributed to. I mean, he was a wealthy guy in New York in the social environment. And I think the American people are perfectly capable of making that determination. But if you just continue at this point, when you've had the president call for the release, when you've had Vice President Vance call for the release, when you've had Pam Bondi say there's a client list, if you continue to hide it, this thing is going to feed more and more cynicism. And I guess ultimately, Mark, that's why I care so much about this. I want to do big things, as you know, on economic patriotism, on the 21st Century Marshall Plan for America, having the government do moonshot-like investments. If we don't have basic trust in government, how are you going to support my economic patriotism or Medicare for all when people don't trust the government to be working for them? And so as a progressive, transparency and trust in government is extraordinary. The Epstein, candidly, I mean, it's not like I was like some people since 2008 vocal about the Epstein case, but I view the Epstein case now as becoming a larger symbol for trust in government.